Hello everybody and welcome to another of my videos for Dungeon Crusher Soul Hunters. On this video we are going to discuss the Dark Ritual and how that benefits you and how it is going to be a key part of your game from here on out. So every so often you are going to kill a boss at the start of the level. Right now we're on the fourth boss of this level, so it's not really um, going to show us anything for now, but when you get to the first boss, it has this blue swirly thing, and if you kill it, it's a specter, and you get souls from it. Here are your potential souls. So they're ones that you've earned this run through the map, but you haven't done a dark ritual, so you haven't gained them into actual production. Each one of these souls is worth a 10% bonus to your DPS, and then you will also use them later for artifacts. So right now I have 44 potential souls, and the first thing we're going to talk about is how do you do a dark ritual? Well, I'm glad you asked. Dark rituals are an ability you have for Wrath. Okay, so Wrath the Merciless, and if you scroll down here, right here's Dark Ritual. So I guess you have to be level like 75 or 80 for him. He's got to be at that level. Maybe it's 125. Level 125 to be able to use that ability. And so then where you find that is by clicking on this little spell book down here. You will see right here is the Dark Ritual. So what this does is it resets your progress all the way back to the first level, except for if you have the portal from the map caves, which I showed you in the other video, which takes you up to level 21 to start. And then if you get the spatial portal, which is something that we'll look at in our artifacts video, because then you can increase the level you start at normally without having to go through all the different levels. And there's benefits to that. Some people have other strategies, but I don't necessarily agree with those strategies, so I'll let you make up your own mind. But I've spent a lot of time doing this game, and I really think that what I do is the best route. But um, you know, that's up for you guys to decide. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this now. Hit OK. There we go. Oh, look at this! I got a new hero, Sikri. And so, where is Sikri? Did she just flat out join, or did she? Oh, okay. So, no, I haven't hired her yet. She becomes a little bit important a little bit later on, but we'll discuss that on a different time. All right. So now what we're doing is we're killing things. We get some coins. But the most important thing is you can see that those potential souls are now moved over into my actual souls. And so, starting with this, you're going to want to be very choosy about what heroes you hire. Okay? Because now it becomes super important for your daily boss. Okay, we talked about daily boss in a different video. So your daily boss, you're going to want to start off by just doing it once per day. But you have to get X amount of damage, potential damage, in order to be able to do it and kill him. But at the same time, the first one's free, the second one's 50 bottles, and so forth. So at the beginning, you're only going to want to do one per day, the free one, so that you conserve your bottles until later on when you have lots more bottles. But you're only going to hire certain heroes that give you the best damage to start with. Okay, so I'm going to recommend Ina for the purposes of doing your daily bosses, and then Feral Heart, who is going to be your main DPS until you get Ina up higher than Feral Heart. And there is a reason why I choose Ina. As I've progressed through the game, it's not necessarily as as important as I would have thought it was for her to be the person you choose. So really, you can either choose her, or you can choose another guy, which I'll show you later, which comes from doing the altar on Sikri. And you get a hero called Nush Killian, but we'll go over that later. Okay. So in the meantime, I'm going to we're gonna go through some levels here. Oh, I missed it. I wasn't able to show it to you because I wasn't paying attention. Bad, Joel. So right now, this is giving me a plus 440% bonus to my damage. And we're going to want to get through as many of these levels as we can. So that we can get more gold to hire more heroes and get more souls. I'll also show you the artifacts here in the next video. Actually, I'm going to show you the artifacts in this video, but then we'll go over the benefits of all the artifacts in a different video. But I'm going to show you why they're so key right now. Level 29. Okay, so we'll get to level 30. And then we'll have a Spectre at level 31. Or we should. But actually, I think the bosses... Maybe not. Alright, so watch this down here. Oh, not a Spectre. Okay. Oh, you know what? You have to be at a certain level of the game to get Spectres, which is why we're not getting any right now. Alright, let's get Feral Heart up a level. See, here's the thing. Feral Heart automatically went up to 222 million from level 70 or from level 50 to level 100. So that's a lot of damage. And these other guys over here aren't going to come close to that much damage until you get to Dalek. But you have to have plus 22 in your gold scientific notation. So until then, you really don't even need to hire any of these other heroes. They're not very helpful. And they just take up... They just take up time and the ability to do your daily boss. Because if you solve my previous daily boss, and hopefully we'll get up high enough that I can show it to you again. Once you kill him, you get choice of 3 active heroes. And so the whole point of the 3 hero trick, which you can see in my other video on the 3 hero trick, is that you only hire 3 heroes so that you choose which one you want to rank. So right now I have Ina and Feral Heart chosen, so I would rank Feral Heart 2 more times, or 3 more times actually, blue, purple, and then to legendary, and then after that work on Ina or Nushkillian. Sorry, I was distracted. I just saw a little mouse running on my floor over there, so I'm gonna have to put out a mouse trap for him. What was I thinking? Sorry, guys. Um, so anyway, that's the basics of the souls, and you can see that we hit another one somewhere while I was being distracted by that mouse. Let's go ahead and try to kill this guy. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get this guy. All right. Let's take a look at the artifacts real quick. All right. So artifacts, besides these first ones that you get from the cave mines, you purchase them using souls. Okay. So each one of them, the first one you purchase is cost X amount of souls or hearts. So hearts come from doing the arena. We'll get into that eventually, but not right now. And then these other ones cost souls, okay? And they give you different benefits, okay? So Sands of Time here gives you the ability to increase the amount to kill a boss by 5 seconds. So that boss that we just had, if I had this, instead of only having 30 seconds to kill him, I'd have 35 seconds to kill him. The Lion's Heart gives me an increase of DPS by 15% for each level. Excuse me. So it costs 16 to start. Excuse me, guys. So it costs 16 to start. But then for every level you put into it, you get a 15% bonus. But remember, souls are only 10% bonus. So it is very beneficial to have the Lion's Heart to get those higher upgrades instead of just keeping your souls sitting there. The Magic Bag. So this is actually very key. I'm going to go ahead and buy this one because it gives you 100 gold for each level of the artifacts upgrade after using the Dark Ritual. Actually, I'm not going to buy it now. When we're down this low, it's pretty easy that we can kill any of those guys. But as we get up a little bit higher, having that gold to start with will allow you to hire Ina and get her damage going as she gets higher and higher in the rankings. Okay, so let's go ahead and purchase this one. There we go. Now, it also, right now it's at level 1, but it costs souls to upgrade the damage, right? So right now I'm getting a 15% bonus. If we upgrade it by 1, now I'm getting a 30% bonus. And now I'm getting a 45% bonus. And now I'm getting 60% bonus. And as you can see, I'm starting to kill this a little bit easier. And easier. And easier. Right, so I'm getting a net gain of 5% for each soul I spend. And as you can tell, it's only 1 to do that increase. So Lion's Heart is a good one early. So I'm going to go ahead, buy a few ranks of him so that we can get higher DPS and move on. However, the ones that you're really going to want to go for first is the Spectre, which we don't have up here yet, so we'd have to refresh in order to get it, to reload it, and that's a waste of souls, especially when we have so few. And then Soul Reaper is a key one throughout the game, which increases the amount of souls you get for every Spectre. And then spatial portal is going to be very key as well. But then you have all of these other ones that give you, increases your damage per click by 20% for each level. So, I mean, that's okay, but you're not going to really want that right now. That would be nice to have if you had any hearts. We don't have any hearts. The amount of gold earned by 5% for each level. This will be nice to have later on, and then that saves the time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish upgrading this to there. Now let's go back to heroes. Let's upgrade her. That's not gonna help. We need to get to 10 billion. I don't know if we'll be able to get to 10 billion. We should be able to get there fairly quickly. So. Let's try to beat the boss, see what happens. Doesn't look like we're gonna make it. But that's okay. Alright, so like I was mentioning in an earlier one, what you're going to want to do with this is you're not going to want to just sit here and play this game straight all the time. So at this point, during this long, heavy grind, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take hours of breaks. Okay? So take 2 or 3 hours to break and to gain gold, because every time you kill one of these guys, you're going to gain some gold here, right? Bam, bam, bam. Alright, so I'm going to simulate that. Don't do this. I'm going to do it because this is not my main character, and I don't really need these bottles for later on in the game, since I have a bunch of bottles on my main account. And these are just tutorial videos, okay? So we're going to pretend like I was taking a break for 4 hours, okay? So after my 4-hour break, I have all of this extra gold, right? We're going to upgrade Feral Heart, and look at him go now. Okay, now if you remember me talking about it in the last video, we're going to do this 25. So every time we increase it by 25, he gets a lot more damage. And so as you can see, now I'm just tearing through these guys. Okay. Now I'm not gaining a whole lot of gold here. Because it's such a low level. So this is again one of those reasons why you're going to want to give breaks and just let the progression happen normally. So that you don't have to just sit here and watch it. Okay. So we're going to pretend like I moved 4 more hours in advance. And it gave me a lot more gold, but it didn't really get me very far. And so now I'm past that. Here we are again, waiting for more stuff to happen. More hours need to go by. I mean, and it could be 15, 20 minutes, you know, something like that. These achievements happen. I mean, they help you and they give you damage, so the more achievements you get, the more damage you have. But that's really all. Later on in life, they become just something to get through your OCD, but right now they're not that exciting. Okay, so getting through this level pretty quickly. Here's Homeslash. We're going to kill him pretty quick. And then... Nope, not a Spectre. Let's jump ahead again. Kill this guy. Not Spectre. Jump ahead. Not a Spectre. Now, one of the people you're going to want for your third hero this early in the game is going to be King Midas. As we talked about before, once you get him up to level 100, you get the Hand of Midas. And so that's going to help you to gain gold as you're doing this. As you're going through all of this. So if you get to a point where you're stuck, and you can't hire the next guy unless you get lots of gold, what you would do is you would use Midas. You would use this, and this, and this. This comes from Ina, and this comes from your avatar and Midas. So that's why I would use Ina as one of your three, Feral Heart, and Midas to begin with. And so now we gotta get to 17. So instead of only getting one set of coins for killing this guy, you would get one for every click that you do with this for 30 seconds. Random spam call. Sorry. So the other thing about the Dark Ritual, you don't want to be doing that a ton, because you can see I'm only at 7 right now. The other thing is, you can only do one every 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, let's talk about this too. So now I have this option to buy this Legendary Sword of Doom. Don't buy it. It's worthless. I mean, it might be helpful now, but it really is not worth anything, and it's like 10 bucks out of your pocket. You save your money. What you can do if you really want to buy things, let's talk about in-game currency. So in-game currency, bottles are in-game currency. They are very worth the money, depending on which ones you get. However, they can get expensive. They give a little deal every so often where you can spend 30 bucks US and get 4,650 instead of 100 bucks. That's what 1,000 creds are. And so it can be worth it, um, especially if you need bottles. However, what I was told, and I tend to agree with, is not heroes, not offers, bonuses. No, not bonuses. Why aren't they showing it? Weird. Alright, well, it's not showing it right now, but eventually in here you'll be able to buy voids. Okay, and voids are, you can see, oh, you know what, it's probably because I'm on Congregate. If you look at your, if you are on mobile, you'll be able to look in here and you'll be able to buy voids. And what voids do is, where'd they go? right here. So this is what a void looks like. They're $10 US plus tax, and you buy those, and then you use those for different things throughout the game. We'll get into that a lot in later advanced tactics, but for now, just know that the best thing to do is if you're going to spend money on this game, you could buy 3 of these voids for the same price as one of those bottle packs. And then when you get over here to the heroes, you would spend the voids on here. So you would be able to get Aurora with that same 3 voids. Um, and then what she does for you is she gives you guilds and a mythical orb, which you'll use later on in crafting. And guilds are used later on to upgrade your heroes. But that's what she gives you to start. And then you move on from Aurora to the next angel, which is 5 voids, and then the next one I think is 10 voids, maybe. I don't remember. Um, let's click on this because this will give us. Oh, here we go. And so we've got Razzle here, who is then 3 voids, but you can't get him until you buy her, and then you can get Elator, which I think is 7 or 10, I can't remember. And then you can buy him, and then again you get guilds and mythical orbs. But after you get these 3 guys, that's when the really important part comes. Because then these gods that you buy, they give you bottles every day that you open the game. Bottles and emeralds. Emeralds are going to be super, super, super important later on in the game, and bottles are, of course, as we talked, very, very important. Zeus is a really good god anyway, because you can use him to, like, in League to kill lots of things, which is really good. You can check out my video on leagues. Mictlan is probably one of the most important gods. I think this is 10, so Zeus is 20, maybe 15, but probably 20, and then Mictlan is 30 voids. Um, Not only does he give you 50 bottles per day, but he buffs your allies by 150% wisdom. He is essential for a good wisdom deck. If you've ever seen any of my other videos, especially on the siege part, you'll see that I have a wisdom deck, and Mictlan is my main buffer for that. And so, therefore, you really need him in order to have that deck work properly. Otherwise, it's harder to do it with the ones that you get, which is Albert. He's a wisdom buffer. And I think Bianca is also a wisdom buffer. But this is what you're gonna. This is one of the guys you want. So you're gonna want to spend your money on voids to purchase these guys instead. Don't buy these guys. These are a waste of money. Unless you're like OCD like me and just want them. The only thing I use them for is to put in the mines to get more emeralds, but I think this one is 1, this one is 2 or 3, and this one is either 3 or 5. But they don't really do anything for you in the game itself other than get you more emeralds from the mine. So save your money unless you really want to spend $100 on them for no reason. Save your money for these guys. Because then, after you get down here, then these guys get super, super expensive. Let's see. So if he's 30, then that was 40, 50, 60, maybe 70. I think this one's like 100. This one's 120. And then you get down here, and these are 200 voids each. Each one of these are 200 voids. That's $2,000, guys. So you can either spend your money on that, or you can, we'll talk about in-game currency in a different video, or you can trade all that to get voids. So just be conscious of that. If you're going to spend money in the game, buy voids instead of bottles, because if you buy these guys, then you get the bottles every day. 25 bottles a day, 50 bottles a day, 75 bottles a day. So this would be 150 bottles a day for each of those, times 30 days. You're looking at 4,500 bottles a month for these guys, which is just slightly less than what you would spend for $30 on the other one. So you're looking at 200. Well, see, so it would take a while for you to get to that point, but 200, 500, and $900. So if you spent that $900, eventually, after what, I don't know, after a number of months, you would get your money back from doing that. But you don't have to spend cash either. Like I said, if you were able to get some of this in-game currency, which we will talk about later, you can trade those for voids. You may have seen here, right, selling void for bottles. So if you get bottle packs from your clan for doing well, you can sell those to these guys who will give you voids for them. Okay. All right. So we're still only at 7. All right, and so now I'm getting a whole bunch of gold for this. Let's pop him open a few to get more damage going. And so every time this hits, I get more gold, more gold, more gold, more gold, lots more gold, as long as this is going. And so every time you come on, if you have those 3 going, then you just pop that and just start waiting. Then you can wait an hour of real time, come back when that's ready to go, and do it all again and get more gold, so that you can keep increasing your heroes. But again, we don't want to hire any of these heroes except for the ones that we already have. Eventually, when we get up there, we're going to talk about Sikri and how we can convert her into Nushkillian. Now, so the 2-step process on that is to get Feral Heart up to Legendary, and then he'll be able to get you to activate Sikri or Nushkillian once you get Nushkillian. And then when you increase Nushkillian, he'll get you up to, at Galaxy X, he'll get you up to Kurthra Raz, which is not on my screen yet. But also, if you forget about Nushkillian, who is a buffer and you can use him, but he's not really that important, instead, if you concentrate on getting Ina to Galaxy X, you can skip Nushkillian, and you can use her, who will then get you to Kurthra Raz, to be able to hire Kurthra Raz as a Galaxy X. So you can save rankings. And plus, as we mentioned earlier, hiring her and keeping her that way will get you this special ability to use anytime you need to. Okay? Alright. I think that's going to be all for now. So I showed you about the souls, showed you about the in-game currency, I showed you about this. Oh, the other in-game currency, the bottles, the emeralds. So I think we spent an hour. Yeah, so we spent an hour, so we can actually go in here and claim the reward. So we got 1 for that. Okay. So you can continue to put your heroes in there as you leave for the leave for a while. Don't forget to do your bottles, caves. They become important. And just keep progressing. In the next video, I'm going to abandon this account and I am going to move over to a different server where I had created another account for showing people tutorials. So I'm going to go back to that one next, and then we'll go through more stuff there. In fact, before I forget about it, I'm just going to go back and here. change over to that. All right. So thanks for watching my video. My next video will be on this guy, and if you have any questions or comments, leave it below, and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. Thanks. Bye.